administration's mistakes.
We got time for 2 more questions.
For decades, Republicans have blocked any effort of meaningful, comprehensive reform on immigration. For decades, all of them. People aren't going to want to stop coming to this country. They clearly do. Quite rightly, everyone here is proud that America is a nation of immigrants. So what are you going to do to solve this challenge long term?
Well, the premise of your question isn't right. We are a nation of immigrants. That is absolutely right. My father came to America from Cuba in 1957. He was 18 and he couldn't speak English. He had $100 in his underwear. We're a nation that is built by people coming here seeking freedom. And there's no nation on earth that is more generous, more welcoming to immigrants than the United States of America. But there's a right way to come. The right way to come is legally, following the rules, following the rule of law, coming here legally. The wrong way to come is putting children in the custody of human traffickers. These are vicious transnational criminals. As several folks told you, we just saw a dead body floating on the Rio Grande coming by of someone who died crossing, no doubt, with a trafficker. This is inhumane, what is going on, and the Democrats have made decisions. Joe Biden and the Biden administration have made decisions that are causing these people to suffer, and to do this in a pandemic is particularly irresponsible. In Harlingen, the illegal immigrants being released are testing positive for COVID-19 at a rate 7 times higher than the U.S. population. This makes no sense.
Just very quickly, instead of asking a Republican or a Democrat, why don't you ask the people in charge of policing the border what the problem is? Rather than making a political statement and a question, why don't you walk right over there and ask the guy, what the hell happened? We got a chart, I'll give it to you. This was June, right here. See this spike? It was big. What did Trump do? He told Mexico, we're going to put tariffs on all your products unless you allow us to have asylum seekers stay in Mexico. What happened? It went down to a 45-year low because nobody's going to pay $20,000 to come to Mexico and wait for 4 years. The day the first plane load of kids went back to Central America, the unaccompanied minor problem went to a 45-year low. So why don't you do your job as a reporter and ask the professionals what the hell has happened in the last couple of months, and they will tell you. They told the Biden administration, if you do what you're planning, we're going to lose control of the border. They were right. I want to know who they told, and I want those people to be held accountable. I'm not going to give this up. I voted for every comprehensive immigration bill that's ever come out of the United States Senate. It is impossible for me to sit down with Dick Durbin and negotiate any solution to people already here, because if you legalize one person until you fix this problem, you're going to have a human tsunami. It will be another signal there, come to America, welcome. Don't ask us, we're politicians. Ask these people over here what has happened, why have they lost control of the border, and they will tell you.
Senator Cruz. I have a question for Senator Tillis and Senator Johnson about the switch really quickly.
Go for it. Good.
All right, Senator Johnson, Biden's transition team alleged the Trump admin delayed action on the migrant surge for months, even though it was warned about the problem from DHS and HHS. Johnson was the previous chair of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Did he hear about this warning, and should Trump not assume some responsibility for the crisis?
I missed the first part of your question.
Sure. Biden's transition team alleged the Trump admin delayed action on the migrant surge for months, even though it was warned. So my question is, did he
Lindsay, give me my graph.
Did he hear about this warning, and should Trump not assume some responsibility for the crisis?
Why don't you ask the people who did the briefing?
Yeah, so let me, first of all, I really don't even understand the premise of your question. I've been working on this chart for a couple of years. It shows cause and effect. I will send it to all of your offices. And again, the fact of the matter is yes, there's a huge surge for a number of reasons. Deferred action on childhood arrivals. You had the Flores reinterpretation where it applied to not only unaccompanied children, but accompanied children. There are a number of things that caused this crisis, and then President Trump and his administration fixed the problem. That's the point we're trying to make. And rather than following those policies where we basically had this under control, so we could take the next step. We were controlling the border. We could finish the fence. We were so close to taking that first step of having secure borders so we could address comprehensive immigration reform. Instead, President Biden ignored the advice of professionals, blew up all of these reforms, and now we've got this crisis, which is far worse today than it was even in 2019. We've had a day of over 6,000 people. 6,000 people. That's more than a caravan. That's a large caravan per day. How do you handle that? Put yourself in the men and women's shoes here that have to deal with this. How do you handle 6,000 people a day? Come on, it's a crisis.
Can you bring more to the voting question for hearing?
Hold up a second. You can finish. Hold up.
Is it now time to pursue a more comprehensive? I know you're co-sponsoring the Secure and Protect Act. If you think we should do a more comprehensive immigration reform?
Well, absolutely, but the table stakes are here. Exactly what Lindsay said. The reason that President Trump did have a crisis to the first question asked, created by a court decision, he fixed it. Well, we just had a meeting just last week with Democrat members. Lindsay and I were there and other members. And we said, if you want to talk about immigration reform, we're prepared to. We have a crisis at the border. We have to understand, again, listening to what the folks on the ground are telling us and making sure that we have policies that secure this border. You cannot possibly have a credible immigration reform proposal in Congress until you fix this crisis down here.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys.